What is up, guys, and welcome back to episode number 22 now of the Valencia My Player Career Mode. And of course, the last episode we had a decent episode in front of goal, so I'm looking to pick up from where we left off by kicking our first game here against Las Palmas off to a good start and trying to get ourselves on the score sheet for today's game in the first of 3 games upcoming for you in the La Liga as we look to continue our good form here for Valencia. One of you guys suggested as well in the last episode that we actually request a transfer. Now, I will certainly do that if you in fact want me to, but the only issue there is we've only been at Valencia since January and literally, 2 months. So the chances are our transfer request is probably not going to get accepted, even if we did in fact send one over to the board. So I'm willing to send one if you guys really want me to send a transfer request in. But I just simply cannot see it being accepted, guys. We've been here 2 months already. Yes, we've had a good goal-scoring record since coming here, but the chances are it will not be accepted, that transfer request. You can see as well we're sat in joint second or possibly in third, I think we are now, in the league. So not too bad either with this Valencia side that were 8th before we came into the team. We pick up a free kick here inside 35 minutes against Las Palmas, and you can see as well, it was really for nothing. It was a very, very poor free kick to give away in terms of Las Palmas. Cross comes in, I meet it with my head, it comes back off the bar, but thankfully it drops into the back of the net, and we got ourselves off to the perfect start in the episode, picking up a goal in the first half of the first game, so picking up where we left off as well. And our goal scoring form here at Valencia has been absolutely incredible, and I'm so happy the fact that we've managed to score as many goals as we have. You can see there though, it did actually almost come close to not going in the back of the net, so he actually bounced back out, but thankfully the goal was actually given. And pretty much straight from that, poor defensively twice by Las Palmas as I chased the ball down. And when I'm in this kind of form, you simply can't afford to do that at the back. And a low-driven shot past the goalkeeper makes it Valencia 2, Las Palmas 0. And 38 minutes into this one, pretty much one after another, we got ourselves 2 goals in the game. And I actually brought my goals to 40 goals there, so that's pretty sweet as well to see. I think we got a finishing boost in terms of attributes for that one. So pretty good, the fact that we've managed to get 40 goals in our career so far. I'm pretty sure we're actually more than that. I'll show you in probably next episode the amount of goals we managed to hit in total over our career. I don't know if it counts all games and goals. I don't know if it counts, the pre-season games, but I'm actually going to look at that and just we'll see the total that we score by the end of our career and stuff, and we'll just see what we actually match. And in terms of that one, we could actually hit some good goal scoring form in terms of goals to game ratio. I think the highest is actually Gerd Muller. I'm pretty sure the highest, or it might be Pele actually. Yeah, Pele. I think he's actually the highest in terms of goals to games. And I think Gerd Muller's up there, especially for his international team of West Germany. We've played a few times for England. What I'm going to do, guys, now, I know we've actually played. I'm going to look back and I'm going to keep a note in my own personal thing because it actually doesn't count England's performances. And we're going to actually see how many goals we've scored in how many games for England and stuff. So I know we haven't scored yet for England. And we've played, I think, twice for them so far. So I'm pretty sure we've played 2 games and haven't scored, but we've got ourselves an assist. So I'm not going to count assists because we are a striker. I'm only going to count the goals for England. So we played 2 England games and are yet to score. So in terms of our England record, not too brilliant as of yet. I am going to include friendlies for England as well because they are included in an international game. Sometimes it's a bit frowned upon, but I'm going to include them in our own personal one. But I'm pretty sure friendlies are not included in the one that FIFA keep track of in your game, in my career bit, which I'm pretty sure it doesn't count the England goals, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't count the friendly goals either. So there's that one. So anyways, you'll be able to see how many goals we're on and what we're currently doing in our career so far. I'm pretty sure we've actually only played 15 or 16 more games than what we've got in goals, and most of that came when we went onto that loan spell over at MK Dons. You can see 4 games to go here, guys. Valencia sat second, and we're 3 points ahead of today's opponents here in Atletico Madrid. So if we keep up this pace, we could actually get ourselves a top 2 finish. There was only 2 chances, or 1 chance in this game rather, and it fell the way of Atletico Madrid inside 6 minutes. It was a very good chance for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who sent his effort wide of the bottom corner there. You can see it from a different angle in a second here. The number 18 close to making the score 1-0 to Atletico Madrid, but wasn't able to find the back of the net as Alves tried to make the save, but thankfully it went off target. And that was all the game contained. It was a very boring game. I didn't manage to get myself on the ball all that much, and in terms of that one, very boring, and I'm sorry to have to give you that as a game in the episode, really. You can see there, 6.1 match rating, literally nothing happened. That was the only chance in a 90-minute game, and it fell the way of Atletico Madrid, who almost managed to steal the victory there. But it keeps us ahead of them in the league as well, so we're still 3 points clear going into the 3rd and final game of the episode, meaning that if we can hold our nerve in the final 2, because this is the This will be, actually, are we on 35 games now? I'm not entirely sure. Anyways, next episode will probably be the end of the season episode, so there's that as well to look forward to. So we've obviously got a number of games to come in this one before we do, in fact, hit the end of the season. But like I said, if you guys want me to use that transfer request that one of you guys suggested in the previous episodes, then I will do that. But I can't see it being accepted here by Valencia. But I will do it if you guys want me to seriously do it. If you want me to do it, leave another comment on today's episode by saying, put in a transfer request, and I will do it, my man. But I don't know what we're going to do in terms of that one. I'll probably still do it for you, but in terms of that, I'm not expecting it to be accepted. But, you know, we have a couple of games to go now. All I want to do is hit second with Valencia, and on top of that, I want to try and get myself into the top 5 goal scorers of the league. I did say last episode it would be nice to get into the top 3, but it's simply not going to be the case. I'm not expecting it, and you can see Sevilla not doing too well for themselves either. FC Barcelona, though, have crept into the top 4, so they're poor, you know, I say mid-season form. It's not mid-season, is it? It's towards the back end. It feels like mid-season for me, because I've already been here for literally 10 games or something, but the back of the end of the season form from Barcelona wasn't good, but they've managed to creep themselves back up into the top 4 spot. They'll be nowhere near the title. However, they've managed to get themselves Champions League football by the look of it. I think it's top 4. It could actually be only top 3 that get in the Champions League from La Liga, but I'm pretty sure it is just the top 4. So Barcelona at the moment, if I am correct, are sat in a Champions League spot, which is very nice to them. But we do want to try and get ourselves into that second place. It means that even if we managed to get a Champions League spot, it would be as the second seed coming from Spain, which would be very nice to see, and I do firmly believe that this side is capable of coming second. We're probably not just good enough yet to chase down Real Madrid, but next season there's a big chance that we could get ourselves the title if we play it as well as we are coming towards the back end of this season, especially with me up front, because I tell you what, our goal scoring record at the moment is absolutely phenomenal as well. So they didn't have a £38.5 million striker in ourselves when they obviously was the first part of the season, but they are going to have me for a full season next season if they do in fact decline that transfer request. But what I don't want to happen is me putting a transfer request and then we get dropped from the team because they feel as though I've got too much of an ego. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. If you guys suggest it, I'm down to do it. But you can see here, we did in fact get ourselves underway for this game against Getafe, and the actual first chance of the game did fall our way 17 minutes into it. A lovely ball into the path of Nani. Nani goes down the left hand side, puts it into the edge area, and Perez, less than about his strike, the better, as it was fired miles wide of that bottom corner. No chance of that ever going in the back of the net. 47 minutes, I thought I grabbed myself the opening goal in the game. A very, very good, well-taken goal as well, I have to say. Lovely first touch into the right-footed strike to make it 1-0. But unfortunately, we were given as offside. I'm going to show you this later on in the game here. You'll see it in the slow-mo just to show you how close that decision was by the ref. But from the resulting free kick, we win it back here in the 49th minute of this one as it gives into Nani. Nani tries to beat the defender, can't quite do it the first time. It comes into one of the other players, I think in Enzo Perez. The through ball's played over, the defender does not deal with it, and I'm thinking surely going to be 1-0. We tried to dink the goalkeeper and was so unfortunate to not go a goal up there. The confidence that I'm in right now, I thought if this works, this is going to be a lovely finish. And it was just one of those ones where it was so agonising that he got his fingertips to it and he kept the score at 0-0. But 57 minutes in, picked up a free kick as Yoda managed to foul my teammate. Yoda, what a good name that is. But he managed to foul my teammate there. It's very, very poor from him. Gives the ball away. And you saw one of these free kicks done in a previous episode where I asked for it short. I asked for it short again. And look at that for an absolutely wonderful strike. I could not have hit that any better as it flew into the corner of the net to make it Valencia 1 and Getafe 0. 58 minutes on the clock. The second one of these short free kicks we've scored from. I have to say, the keeper, if you watch him, does take a step to the right-hand side, which is probably what actually beats him, and the defender as well was so close to blocking the ball. The keeper doesn't move the correct way, though, to begin with, and that's probably the reason why it's ended up at the back of the net. But take nothing away from the strike, because it was an incredible one at that. And 69 minutes in, we really should have been 2-0 up in this one as well, as I got into a one-on-one situation, kind of. The keeper, though, making a phenomenal save to keep the score still at 1-0. However, we did pick up the 1-0 victory, so it came at the hands of me scoring the only goal in the game, and it was an absolute cracker from my left foot into that, corner of the net to make it 1-0. Picked up 3 points. I'll show you the goal here in a second, the offside goal that is, and I do show you it in slow-mo so you can actually see how close it was to being given as an onside goal. You can see here, I showed you it in just, fast replay and showed you again. That's the goal that we scored, but then I slow it right down here. You can see as well, this is in fact how it actually went. As you can see, the ball was played. I was slightly off, but I was agonising at the time. I was thinking, I'm sure I held my run on there, but quite clearly not, and it did in fact mean that I was offside. It was a well-taken goal. I'll look at this for a touch into the path of my right foot. The keeper started looking like he wanted to make the save, but, right-footed finish, lovely finish in the end, and we made it 1-0, but were ultimately not given, so I'm very disappointed because that was an extremely good goal. But other than that, we are coming towards the end of this episode of Career Mode. If you have enjoyed, smash that like button. As always, make sure you check back at 4 PM and 6 PM UK time for every single upload. Also, subscribe if you're not already to never miss an upload on the channel. And I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, again, smash the like button. Thank you all so much as well for 500 subscribers on the channel. Crazy amount that you guys have been showing and the support as well. Other than that, I've been Danny, and I'm out. Adios.